Hello and welcome to another Wraggys Taproom. And you may have noticed that the actual name's changed. It took me nearly 2 weeks to find out I changed the bloody name. But hey ho, we're there. And good evening, both Ted and Mark. How are you both? Yeah, I tell you what, there's some belting beer kits out there at the moment. Um, the Mangrove. Good evening, Kevin. Mangrove Jacks. Is it Mangrove? No, Muntons. I've got a watermelon sour. And I've got to be honest, for 15 quid, it's their Taproom series. For the money, it's worth a punt. There's some interesting beer kits at a fairly cheap price. I'm going there tomorrow to the local beer brewing shop to pick up the grain brewing thing that I'm going to be using. It's not quite proper. It's not a proper kit, but it's as close as I'm going to get to doing grain brewing, but the cheaper way of doing it, unless you use a big pan, which is not really my thing. I'd rather do it slightly easier way, slightly less hurtful way for my electricity. Good evening, Matt. Hope you had a good weekend, everyone. What a storming weekend. I mean, I've been away. It's been a good weekend, Mark, to be fair. Yeah, Fort Park was amazing. Don't get me started on queue jumping little fucking school children. But the rides, I'll tell you what, staying at the hotel, if you've got kids or you and your partner like theme park, staying there is very much a good thing to do. The beer wall's looking better, isn't it? Yeah, I can see it on there. Yeah, it's looking a bit more healthier these days. Yeah, it will start to get looking a lot more healthier. Yeah, I've not been spending a lot of money on it for a while just to get it down. Good evening, John. That woman get off the phone. No, she had the bloody phone the whole way through. Yeah, man, nothing. And she kept staring across as well. We're literally 100 yards away from each other. That sort of long. I'm not counting it, obviously. But she was a good way away. And good evening, mate. And yeah, and she was there, and you could see she was nosy. She was on the phone, but she, talking whatever language she was talking, gibberish to me. But and yeah, and she was there the whole time. It's like, go do one then. So I like the beer room because I can talk down here. There's nobody listening, and the wife could be watching in the house like that. And then I came home yesterday, went up to a beer festival, and I drove the 3.5 hours from London. So I was knackered. Two nights of sleeping in a bed that's not your own. Yeah, as you know, when you're in your own bed, be it a soft bed or a firm bed, you get used to a certain bed, and two crap nights sleep. Yeah, I wonder if you can actually ask him in future to have firm mattresses. And I also ain't got the beer room either, so I can't even if the bed is not to my cup of tea, can't go anywhere to go and get a load of beer just to whop it down and fall asleep. So I'm there, sober, in bed, and could I fall asleep? Could I fall? But went to a beer festival last night. How many pounds? Naught or 50, 40, 30? It just says dollar. Did I pick up any London Cockney slang? Tell you what, there's a lot of foreign people around. Yeah, when you're in the queues and you're listening to conversations, not that I'm a nosy guy, but you know, while you stood there, you do listen. Porter, what it was Porter. You do listen to conversations, and yeah, look, big theme park. I suppose that's what London theme parks are all about, aren't they? Or the outer London theme park. It's all about what's coming into that area of the world. So that's why they are mega popular down there. Fort Park though is an outstanding theme park, as theme parks go. Uh, Cracking time. And now back to the beer room and back to the proper stuff. Beer. And oh, yes, nice little beer haul. Came while I was away. 21 new beers. So what with the recent acquisitions, the beer hall's a little bit more healthier these days. Still need to get rid of the old stock. So I need to chuck an old beer review in with a new beer review. If not, just doing a short beer review just to get rid. Um, and enjoy the newer stuff that's coming. Because obviously, and then try not to buy so many new beers. This is the thing, isn't it? You buy too many bloody beers, and you got to try and drink them, and then they start going out of date, and that's when it starts to get concerning. You spent all that money, and you're not really getting the best out of the beers. Hence why I had to go. Wife had to go at one lot. I had to go at another lot, and I was going to get one lot kicked out, actually kicked off the park, but she stopped me from doing it. No, I don't know why. So I wanted to give him a good hiding. Never mind. Good evening, Bramall. Fuck off me, old China. Get back in your container room. Yeah. So yeah, back on the home brewing this week. I'm buying a minimum of 4 or 5 kits. I'm buying because obviously I've had my birthday pennies, so yeah, I'm actually not rich, but a little bit more spare pennies than I've normally got. And I'm going to buy the thermostat fermentation thing. It's a thermostat temperature controlled for doing brewing a bag. So I will be joining in a very small way the brewing a bag grain brewing community. Yeah, yeah. I've tried something fucking as easy as hell though. Because brewing extract kits is dead easy. Brewing grain, yeah, it's all right when you're watching the professionals do it, but when you're doing it and you've not done it before, then and you've got to stick to these times, haven't you? I know that a lot of good evening, Luke John. And I know that Lincoln Green, they had this special app, or Good Evening Max, and they had this special app that they could put the hops in that they were going to use, and it would give them the times needed for boiling, temperatures, when to add the hops, and all that. Fantastic app, and I think it's actually for homebrewers. So I have no idea what the app was called because, like an idiot, I'm trying to take so much in, but there's only so much you can ever take in on a brew day. And obviously, there's trade secrets that brewers do not want to tell you. Good evening, Thomas. So yeah, I'm going to brew. I want to brew something as easy as hell. Oh, planes! Jesus Christ! The amount of planes, Thomas, you'll have on your channel. Hey, good one, mate. What are you doing? A beer review or something? Obviously, I've not checked who's on, so I always hate clashing. Never my intention to clash with other people's channels. So yeah, grain brewing. Want to do something easy? To tell you the truth, I want to do a clone of Wraggys Golden Ale, just to say that I can actually brew the Wraggys Golden, or at least close to it. In a way. Obviously, I'm only brewing what will probably be 25 litres in retrospect. Then and you've got the addition of the grain that bumps it up. Um, so I'm only going to brew that much, and I know the hops because Lincoln Green told me the hops. So, and I pretty much know that obviously it went into the mash tun first, then it went into the copper, and it was boiling away and all that, and then they added the hops after so many minutes, and then they added more hops. They didn't add a massive amount of hops though. It wasn't massive, If you're thinking that something's 1,500 litres, and if you think you're doing a 30, 25 litre brew, and you're adding like a bag full of hops, the hops that they chucked in wasn't that much. Yeah, I'm not, mate. No, no. I want to learn first. Well, I watched one platform with what 6 on top you got us now. Oh, bless it. What's so expensive? Why Tiny Rebel ditch them? So what does Tiny Rebel do then? Flavours and stuff. No rain today. No, stormingly warm day today. Um, we had a massive amount of overnight rain in London. Well, in Port Park, wherever that is in London. It's called Stain. That's all bloody London to me. That crappy M25. Anybody can live and go up and down that every day. You must just be sitting in traffic thinking, oh God, my life's draining away. But for them journey there and back, it's like, it must just zap you. And then watching the idiots that are zooming in and out of the traffic that haven't no regard for anybody else. There's some absolute clowns on Britain's motorways. There really is. On the way back, there was this twat in a BMW that went on the outside lane, took 4 rows onto the inside lane to come back out just to get through the traffic. Didn't see a cop car the whole way there and back. In 8 hours of driving, no cop cars. Naughty. Ice cream concentrate, according to Jack Grealish lookalike. A lot of breweries these days are using IN essences. And over to the Tiny Rebel Taproom tomorrow. Takeover. Ooh. Yeah, they do some good beers. I've got their key lime lager. Chucking it down there today. Right. Just to show you, doesn't it, that it's not all over. It's just in certain areas. Yeah, it's one of the better summer days that we've had it. Only go for one or so junctions. Yeah, I can understand that, Max. I mean, the sat nav. I put the sat nav on for the wife a week or so ago to miss the motorway, and she forgot to turn it off. So all the way down the M1, it's saying, "Come off the motorway, come off the motorway," and it's like, bloody hell, what's going on? Is there a big crash or something? But there's no crashes. Everything's, we're getting no raining on Liam Gallagher fans at Glasgow this week. No trains at the moment. Don't think I've watched Liam Gallagher anyway. Yeah, no. Did a few good songs here and there, but plenty of attitude. Manchester fans, but there you go. So yeah, this week looking at brewing. Certainly a wine. Want to do a nice wine. I may even go for the Magnum Pinot Grigio wine because it's a cheap kit, but it delivers a nice Pinot Grigio at a decent price. I'm looking at brewing a lager, and the Fours Hammer Bulldog kit is a good lager. 6%, bit high ABV. Could have done with it being a bit lower. Not for me. I want the high, but I've got friends who don't drink high. You met him at the BBC, did you? Oh, wow. Um, then I'm looking at doing uh, an American Pale Ale, around about 4.8%. There's another Bulldog kit, which is Jack something. Um, so there's three kits. I'm looking at getting the Imperial Stout kit, and I'm going to do a few Imperial Stout brews, but this time adding essences to it, to the kit. Well, I'll look at that and go into him. Yeah, to the kit. So I know Neon Raptor added water come from where. Um, Neon Raptor added walnut to their Tuck 2000. Use walnut essence, and that to me would be a very interesting essence to add. And yeah, there's things I want to do. I want to do some lovely stout that I can, chill out myself and drink it. Try and, but then also the grain brewing. We want to go down that grain brewing, see how it goes. Obviously, oh, back to work tomorrow. Hey, it's been a nice long weekend. To be fair. Second-hand James Morton book called Brew. It's brewing a bloody good recipe. Yeah, that's what I want. Obviously, I've got to learn. It's a new process, and I have the what's the word? The drive to learn to do it. Whether I've got the time to do it, there's another thing. But I've certainly got the drive, and certainly over the winter months, the temperature in the house is stays the same. And I do know I was told by a brewer that keeping the temperature stagnant is a good thing. Don't let it fluctuate up and down too much. Oh, the Howdy Coffee Stout brewed by Hall and Woodhouse. Well, Hall and Woodhouse is Badger beers. They know how to do a good beer. Alice in Barryland, that's a laugh. Gave it 10 out of 10. Did he? And chucked Imperial Banana down the drain and gave it a 1 out of 10. That's very inconsistent beer reviewing. Very, very inconsistent. There's not many beers that get a really, really crap score from me because there's not many beers out there that are really, really crap. But you can't be giving something that tastes nice a 1 out of 10 just because you don't like sugar. Or it's not your style of beer. One has to wonder in YouTube land because let's be fair, if you've got say 50,000 subscribers, then you've got a power that the lower YouTubers, the likes of me and a lot of others, haven't. And so you may well get the likes of Audi coming to you and saying, give that 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, mate. Bit of a backhander. These things happen in life. Twice as shy, yeah, twice as shy. Hopefully that's gone now from the place that time forgot. There's a Butlins down there, isn't there? Might have to go down there. Stop at the Butlins one time. Good evening, Chris. How are you? And yeah, twice as nice. What was a funny old beer that was. I must do some supermarket beers just to get back. Well, some decent one. I'm not buying anything that I've already drank about 10 times before in a different label. Some IPA that you've had like so many times. Like, why bring it out? Bring out something new and different. So at least bring out some beers, some of the German and Belgian beers you don't normally get. There is a new beer in Tesco, to be fair, St. Barnabas. So I do need to start doing that. You don't believe it? Oh, Fort Park was excellent. If you're into theme parks, I personally, hand on heart, think that Fort Park is the best in the UK. I've been to all the other big theme parks, and this last 2 days, if you're staying on site because you get that 1 hour fast track, that 1 hour fast pass makes the day because the first day Swarm was down. We all went, fucking hell, how many thousands? It's like there's a marathon and there's thousands of you running, and it's like fucking hell, we're all running like this to Swarm. Next minute it's down. Oh shit! All running back the ways. Then you've got a crowd running towards you that haven't seen that Twitter's probably a good way, mate, or Instagram. I'm good on all of them. Although I've been having some problems with Instagram of late, but Twitter's good because we're on Twitter anyway by private message. Anyway, so got onto stealth 3 times. Stealth 85 mile an hour, 200 foot high launch coaster. Then went on to Soar, which is better than Smiler at Alton Towers. So we did 5 rides in less than an hour on the first day. On the second day, we did Swarm, 3 on Stealth, 4, 1 on Nemesis, 5. Got onto Soar, and then it broke broke down. Somebody puked on the ride. We're all in the queue, and he says, "We've got to stop the ride. We've got to clean the ride." And it's like, "Yeah, someone's puked." And all of a sudden, these lads come down, got off the ride, and there they are. They're cleaning it all wearing masks. Poor buggers. But it killed the ride. It did all the sensors. So they had to get the engineers out. In the end, we got a fast pass. So went on to Colossus. Colossus is a shit of a ride to queue for. You only ever want to go on that ride with a fast pass because it's so slow. Anyway, got on it, did Colossus. She looked at the fast passes but didn't scan them, and I'm like, oh. So then we used the fast pass later and got onto Swarm again. And then he scanned them, so we couldn't use them again. But cracking, absolutely cracking. Apart from queue jumps, try and keep away from the end of June to the middle of July. It's all about bloody school trips, and they're the worst for queue jumping, as are certain well, not great for that. Gets all trouble. Yeah, but that is the best way, mate. Yeah, can't wait to try it. The Harrison's plum porter that I had the other day. I reviewed this the other day, and I've got to say, I've got to get another can of it, and I've got to put it up against Titanic and St. Peter's in a battle of the plum porters because it's absolutely flipping stunning. Oh, Butlins aren't there now in Barry Island. Multi-million-pound houses, and they get. I'll have to do a recce down to Wales one day. Proper holiday camp, hello campers. Yeah, women on phones when you're trying to do a live, eh? And she'd come out, and then you got the kids coming out. And it's like musical doors. Or you see one person coming out of one door, going into another door. And it's like, what the hell? Is it swap shop? Just go in and help yourself to something in a different apartment. But yeah, it was all right. The bed could have been better. The breakfast at Belt Park, absolutely stunning. Decent, proper English brekkie. I'm not into fried onions, so I don't do that shite. But the sausages were Cumberland sausages, scrambled egg, bacon, hash browns. There was bread there was cereals, good coffee, Ranger coffee. All you can ask for in a breakfast, Get as much as you want. I stacked my plate on the first night. Okay, proper stacked it. You went to Barry Line, the sniper getting the minute you got off the train. Good evening, Martin. No, I've not tried the Morrison's Ukraine lager. Yeah, through by InBev. I need to give it a try. 10 for 10. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it for 10 cans. Yeah. I mean, whatever they can do for those good. I mean, I've got a beer here where the profits go to Ukraine. I've got this one. So, oops, Russian warship, go F yourself. And that's Navigation Brewery. It's actually their award-winning American IPA that they've just rebadged into this to do whatever to help send money over to Ukraine. And it's amazing that the beer community is doing whatever it can. If you look around the world, the worldwide beer community is done some great stuff, and it's lovely to see, really. Let me get my can opener. I've lost my canopy because I'm down to this one, but it is a Titanic brewery canopy, so it's all good. You live 20 miles away from there in a small town called Pencurry. Ah, no pie or mash or jelly eels, proper London food. Yeah, I don't do that pie mash shite. Yeah. In the evening, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. Only down for me is the 2 nights the buffet stayed the same. So if you like the food, you're in heaven. If you don't like the type of food that was on, you would have struggled. There was like half a chicken. There was chicken tikka masala, a veggie option. There was pie, fish, chips, obviously. Um, a few other bits and bobs, and then there was like a pudding. There's a black forest gatto, chocolate gatto, cheesecakes and stuff. It was alright if you like that type of food. I, funnily enough, do, but not 2 nights on the road. You know, there's a bit of a thing where 2 nights of it, and it's like anything. You don't want to eat the same food week, day in, day out. I mean, if you like fillet steak, you don't want fillet steak every flipping night. Yeah, they had aircon, mate. Yeah, cheapest aircon is the cheapest way to heat anything. Far cheaper than boilers and stuff. And I mean, look, I've got aircon downstairs in my house, and I do wonder about putting aircon upstairs as well at some stage. And I've got a son now who was actually a trained aircon fitter, funnily enough, and aircon in the shed, middle of winter when it's freezing. Crack the aircon on for a few minutes just to warm the shed up, warm me up. Yeah, definitely might be the thing in years to come. Nice aircon unit in here, just to blast a bit of air out. Can't tell what she was speaking, but you might be right. So I'm on the old Leffe again. Yeah. Well, I got sent 15 bottles, so it's rude not to. Hey, look, I can't see it on camera. There we go. Yeah, just about on camera. There we go. Yeah. The Leffe's in the house. Yeah, I'm still on the Leffe Ruby. Still got about 6 bottles of it. I'm just trying to get rid of it now so I can move on to something else. But when someone gives you beer for free, one must, drink the beer. And why wouldn't you? If beer's for free, it's a good thing. Saves me drinking review beer because obviously you buy beer to review. You do not want it. Have I got £20,000 in my bank account? No. You Euro Lottery Tuesday, 150 million, isn't it? Oh, what I would do to win that. I've just had a 5% pay rise at work, which in these, yeah, it always tastes better when it's free. Yeah. It's amazing how our beer does taste better when it's free. Yeah, or at least cheap. When you pay like £9 a bottle, drink this fucking not worth £9. I don't follow my friend, follow every français. But yeah, when you pay a lot for a beer, it don't taste anything like what for the money that you're paying for it. Just kills you, doesn't it? I mean, I've paid some good money. I've paid up to 15 quid. 15 quid a bottle for me. That's a lot of money for me. I mean, I'm not on big wages. And when you pay that much for a beer, because somebody says, "Oh, this is the best beer you've ever tasted," you drink it, you think it's not. It's shit. Um, yeah, it will be up the wrong way. I mean, I've tasted some amazing on a Siren Flex California IPA, 5.2%. Get it. So yeah, I'm gonna spend a few quid tomorrow. Got 250 quid in my kitty to go out and spend. Uh, yes, I am glad for the payback as well because I took a pay cut to go to this place. And then I got a pound an hour pay rise last year in the middle of COVID. So, you know, Not a bad thing. A lot of people have lost wages. And then another 5% pay rise. It's not massive, no. But it all helps, doesn't it? You know, grand scheme of things. You love jerk chicken and rice and peas. Funnily enough, there's a place down the road from me, a Jamaican place, that do all the jerk chicken stuff. National insurance rate drops from July too. Ah, somebody did mention, I think Shane, who comes with me and Liam, he did mention, I think he's something to do with wages. He did mention that that was coming in July. So that'll be good because we need something to balance it. I mean, in some ways, if the the price of petrol stays high, but they balance it in other ways, so that the very rich pay a bit more on bloody petrol, and the rich companies pay a bit more on petrol, but it balances the cost of living out. Then then yeah, that's an interesting way. Because let's be fair, then half these fuckers are running around in electric cars, aren't they? So they probably still get away with it. Racist Jamaican jerk season. You're right, Chris. Any pay rise is good, especially in these times. It's very tough trading times out there for anyone. At our workplace, my workplace, across both workplaces, different. Um, and with the growing season coming, wow. These videos I'm doing, it's going to be very interesting. The chain monthly videos between both workplaces, because when colour starts to come, and colour will come, as long as we get some chuffing rain. Yeah, Mark, you're right. That pay rise, yeah. Me and the wife are still working above and beyond what you should have. I mean, I'm working in the evenings and weekends. She's doing a load of extra stuff. Yeah, it's amazing. When you're on about the price of grub, price of steaks. I love a nice steak, but they used to have cheapish steaks about £2, £3 at Tesco's, and they were decent enough steaks. No, what the best, but they were, if you looked, you could pick out about a decent steak. Now it's like near £5, and the quality of steak certainly hasn't gone up. Has the cost of beer kit's gone up? Yes, £2 or £3 on each beer kit at least. Yeah, there's definitely been an upward price on beer kits. The bulldog ones that I've noticed, they've gone up. Yeah, now 200 plus. Shit, innit? You've got to watch what you're doing. I say to the wife, don't be driving here, there, and everywhere in the car. All them little journeys. Fucking, and it's like, for her, she's looking for products. So flour, icing sugar and whatnot. But by driving out to different shops, by the time she's drove to 5 different shops and come home, she might as well have gone to the shop that's like an Aldi, it's slightly more expensive, but not as expensive as the others. Gone to Aldi and just get the stuff from there, because the price of petrol, if you weigh it all up, it's actually cheaper to do that. Well, takeaways. You look at bloody takeaways. Every time I go to KFC, fucking, it's the ones that are getting it delivered that are looked after. So you're treated like shit anyway. And and again, you're right. Inflated prices. You're paying a hell of a lot just to get it delivered as well. Rooney left Derby. I know. I know. Um, well, they still ain't got a new owner, have they? So is OPEC screwing the bill, Mark, or is it just the fact that the oil companies are not? Is the price of oil that expensive these days, or is it the fact that the British bloody oil companies are taking the piss? It does make you wonder. 25 miles away from Redditch each day, backwards and forwards. That's a trek, isn't it? what, an hour a day each way, depending on the road you're on. Yeah, it is a trek. There are a lot of delivery drivers, aren't there? They're a fucking nuisance as well. And then just the little twats on bicycles who fucking hog the lanes, coming down past you and nearly clipping your wing mirror when you're in traffic. Mm. But I suppose it's keeping some people in a good job. Mr. Bullman, are you, mate? It's South Lakes Brewing Company, your neck of the. I had a beer from them earlier. Bugman IPA. Takeaway stock, gambling stock, put me own. Oh, I've always put my own hair. Ain't got much fucking hair to cut. Cut back on beer orders. Again, I've stopped buying a lot of beer. There is no way I'm ever going to have 400 bottles of beer in the beer room again. Not until it starts to change. We've had numbers delivery has been dropped to 30 quid. Biden is on the case now, son of a yeah, Biden. He's an old man. You know, we really need somebody young and who can turn around to the likes of Russia and that and say, stop fucking about, we're going to bomb. Don't start threatening us because we've got just as much, as you. North Lakes, isn't it? No, South Lakes. Yeah, South Cumbria. Ulverston, I think it was. But I think it was Ulverston. Not even sure of that. I seen South Cumbria and I thought, oh, I wonder if it's your neck of the woods. But obviously, it's a big country, isn't it? So it could be anywhere. But yeah, Biden. Bloody hell. Trump was a twonk. Absolute twonk. He had some good ideas, let me be fair. But in some ways, total twat. Three bets. You won 90 quid on them last week. Fair play, fair play, fair play. I want to win the Euro lottery. 150 mil. Buy myself a nice micro pub. Yeah. Yeah, maybe packing gardening and just dish out the best beers from a micro pub and do micro pub beer reviews in a micro pub every night. So I'll be selling the beer. I'll be doing beer reviews and maybe have a little brewing kit in the back. Yeah, that'll be the thing. That would definitely be the thing. Brewing your own stuff. Oh, we can all dream, can't we? I'll still be working when I'm 70 because you damn well know the time I get to 67 that the pension age will have gone up to 70 and beyond. Yeah, they just want you to work till you can die at this rate. Could you imagine a micro pub with sleeping accommodation upstairs for those that get a bit slaughtered? Ulverston, closer to back. Right. $45 a barrel. China's doing okay, yeah. But then what the world needs to do around the world beer review, definitely. What the world needs to do is stop buying stuff off China or increase everything from China when it comes over gets an added 33% slapped on it. We all stuffed up years ago, closing all the mines down and not being self-sufficient. Stupid blood. It's yeah. Oh, I'd have a micro pub like that. I would. I'd have loads of keg lines and couple of casks. But obviously with cash you've got to be careful because with cash you've only got so many days to sell it. But certainly loads of keg lines and 90-minute drive. Ooh, private and state pension starts next January. In my dream, yeah, it will be because I just. But in some ways, is working the best way. Keep going. Lakes Brew Company are the ones that used to work at Hawkshead. Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves. Good evening, David. Yeah, I've actually got one of their beers on back wall, a Beaver Town and Lakes Brew collab. That's quite interesting. That Lakes Brewer actually, because Beaver Town obviously not the brewery they was years ago, but obviously the collab with Lakes Brew Co gives a bit of a nudge to the Lakes lads. Good evening, Phil. You're hoping you don't have to go back to work. I know the jazz of work. You've looked into opening your own bar. Yeah, the time's not right at the moment. It's waiting for that moment, isn't it? If you're good with your bits and you've got good contacts and in local beer community, i.e., lots of different breweries locally that do good beer and have a good steady range of different beers coming. We're all sweet shop people. We love different beers to try, and that's why the micro pubs near me do so well because they have so many different beers coming in. Some because they use social media to promote their beers. Um, it's just as Lakes Brewer opening. Right. Turnaround about 2 days, mate. Didn't take long at all. No, 2 days. Only problem is I ordered it and I forgot I was going away. So it came on the Friday as I was going away. So yeah, it wasn't long at all. And you know, I've no worries about the draft beer. Um, your pension's triple lot. So the old brigade looked after. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So yeah, there's one of the ones I've got on the draft beers, and solid, absolutely solid. Good evening, Craig. And did you enjoy your time down at? Was it a Beat Brewery Craft Beer Festival? And I'd love Beat Brewery to get to Nottingham. I really would. Yeah, low cost though. Oh, very quick. And if there's any issues as well, they'll get in touch and they'll say, "Look, this beer's gone." If it's a draft beer, they'll tell you if it's gone, if it's not right, and they'll say, "Would you like this to change?" They did with me, and I said, "Look, you know, it don't really matter. Just change it to whatever." And they'll probably chuck an extra beer in to make it right, to make the price you pay right. So, yeah, I mean, I've dealt with them now for 2 years, since March 2020, and been good. Get a box sent out to your brother's birthday next month. Yeah, yeah, they're good for that. Beak organised festival, right? Yeah, I'd like to get a beak up to Nottingham. I would next year for Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. Might have to tap on their shoulders and see if they're interested. And David sent one to me as well, pal. Leffe Ruby, about 8 bottles in there. Yeah, you don't get old at least. Although I'm down to my last 6 bottles of homebrew. What's that about? Eh? I've drank all the strong stuff, all the chili chocolate gone. I'm down to Belgian Duvel at 7.4%. It's the strongest beer I've got in the house. Apart from a couple on this back wall behind that I've got, got that I've actually done a beer haul today. There's a one at 12%, a little dinky bloody can. It is dinky as well. Number one at end of the bar. So thinking of doing Derby's Beer Con event in September. some mega breweries going down to that. Vault City, Northern Monk, amongst many other big breweries. Love Lane Stout. That's they're into Love Lane Stout behind me. Yeah. Don't do the 10 euro bottle challenge. No. I've said all along that if I ever get to 3,000, I will do the 75% Belfer Fire. It's a 75% beer. You're doing Derby beer concert early session. I will be as well because I'll need to get back to Nottingham. Got the early bird tickets, right? Yeah. Oh, I need to crack on and get the tickets sorted out. I might do that next weekend. Uh, get some tickets. I've got a mate who's going with me from Nottingham. One, so I don't get lost, and two, in case anything happens and I start getting stressed, he takes over because he's not stressed out, and like I am. So yeah, I'll start panicking if I start getting on the train. And it says, "Oh, next stop Leeds," and it's like fucking Leeds. See you later, mate. Well, Northern Monk there, Craig. Again, when they came to Nottingham last year, mate, they were shit. For such a brewery with such a big name, fucking, they were crap at Nottingham. And I've got to be honest, there was a lot of crap national breweries in Nottingham last weekend. Yeah, there was one or two that did a bit better. Brew York really did well. It's amazing. Brew York was shite in 2021, but Brew York 2022 bought their TV screens. They had the end of bar. They were top notch. Merch down one side, beers down the other side. Three blokes on the bar. Proper bought their game, and I respect that. I respect that. You go anywhere. You go anywhere. You're putting your name out there. So why would you put a shite selection on? Bring your beers. If they're in keg, you ain't lost out if you don't sell them because it's on keg. It's not going to go out of date. You just disconnect it and then hook it back up. Another thing. So I can't understand why they don't bring more. Kegs aren't that big in the grand scheme of things. Bring a bloody van and have a mobile, a mobile setup that you can set up quickly and get the best out of it. Yeah. Cloudwater a little bit. Yeah, it's a shit one. Yeah, I think it's because it's warm. But Cloudwater were disappointing, to be fair. Yeah, they had one girl on the bar, and it's like I went past her, and I felt so sorry for her. And lovely girl, to be fair, but yeah, proper felt so sorry. Richard Edford. I know someone called Richard as well. Yeah. And they call him Dave. Yeah, bless him. He's a nice bloke. But his second name's not Ed. At the craft beer festival, yeah, Cloudwater. Bit disappointed with that. Siren Craft again. They said they're bringing their A game. I went past their bar and I'm like, what? You might have bought some nice beers, but that is your A game. And then there were some local breweries, and there was a couple of local breweries that were shite, and their selection was crap. 4 bottles of Westmore Dewbell, £1.26 in date till Feb. Yeah, this happened at Morrison's for me last year, mate. I had Westmore Dewbell for 50 pence each, and it's like whoever's done this has reduced, got no idea about beer and the price of beer. And then I got Northern Monk's North Star. It was one at the time. for like £2 instead of 4, and it's like, get in. Well, they've had a bit of supermarket, they've been reduced to 50 pence, but there you go. And then once they'd have never got to the shop floor, because I'd have had covers. But yeah, you can guarantee somebody on the staff had a shit for that. I put a few on the shop floor. You know. It's amazing how supermarkets will take a loss on stuff when they want. I've had Castle Rock and Blue Monkey beers for 25 pence each when they were at Sainsbury's, because they were lost. They were in the back somewhere on a trolley that didn't get found, and it wasn't my fault. But we found them, and they'd been reduced to 50 pence, and they were going out of date, so they got reduced even further. You know, just for the staff to delve into. Oh, good days. I miss them. Cheap as chips beer. Oh, I was working at Sainsbury's now. Oh, yeah. I used to love finding out of date beer. In fact, I'd trawl the shelves for the out of date beer just to find it. Like once a week, quick trawl of the shelves. If it's wine or beer or lager, not so much lager, but certainly beer. Boss Brewery Taproom tomorrow night. 7.4 500ml cans at £2.50. Fair play. Is that the takeover date? Yeah. Is that a takeover? Taproom takeover. Them taproom takeovers are good. Good to see. I wish that somebody near me would do a few more. But my local area is absolutely crap for taproom takeovers. The Castle Rock pubs are amazing for it, albeit the ones in the city centre, not the one that's literally a mile away. They don't seem to have taproom takeover nowadays. Taproom on site. Ah, right, yeah. Because it's your neck of the woods. Yeah. Oh, it's tasting all right. I need some impy stouts. I need to start brewing a few impy stouts. That's what I start getting out of there. A Black Forest Gatter impy stout. I need to do something daft like that, or a banoffee pie. There's the thing. Get it brewed, get some big AB. I want to go big. I've seen this weekend the Emperor's Brewery, Cloudwater collaboration with Chain House for the Friends RPA. Well, it's different. Cloudwater do a lot, do seem to do a lot of helping out of lower, smaller breweries, should we say, not lower, because lowers, don't sound right, does it? But certainly smaller breweries, they do seem to do their thing for smaller breweries. And in some ways, big breweries have got a thing, they should help out the smaller breweries, because they were smaller breweries at one stage. And then by helping out smaller breweries, it reciprocates. It can get very nasty drunk. Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Mark. Yes, we got to, was it 3:30 on Saturday? It was like, done all the rides we wanted to, got on as much as what we wanted to, didn't want to go on the wet rides for obvious reasons. And I'm drinking Leffe Ruby. Yeah, I was given 15 bottles of this little beauty from a friend, and he just popped up at the house and gave me it. The Emperors and Brew York collab, yeah, 15% that bugger is. I'd love to do a high ABV impy stout. Chuck in a shitload of sugar to bump that ABV up to make it, and probably put a high yeast, like a really strong yeast that can get that ABV up. Because obviously a lot of yeast won't brew too high. They'll only go so high and they won't brew any further. So basically you're going to get a lot of sugary taste to it. But by getting another yeast to go with that yeast to go for it, that might be the interesting way. There are yeast out there that can go to 23%. It's a crazy, crazy bubbling way. So it's something I'd love to push for an impy stout at about even anything up to 20%, just to say this is what I brew. But maybe from a kit, I wouldn't want to go to fucking try and do it out of a grain thing, because you'd need a hell of a lot of grain, and that sugar's cheaper, as far as I know. But an Imperial Banoffee, 20%, 25 litres of that bucket. Wow, that'd be something. This new fermentation vessel thing I buy, it's got a heating element, but obviously we'd use hot water first and then put it in. So to save on electric, because obviously if you're heating any hot water, you're going to use a lot of electricity. So not that. Yeah, use the boiler system first, put it through the tap and chuck it in. But yeah, 20% Imperial. Oh. It's 33 litres, so I could actually chuck in the extra sugar as well to really to see how it goes. Yeah, it should be interesting. It's something I want to do. I want to push boundaries with homebrewing, if you can, obviously. So, looking forward to a new week at work. Oh, planting, maybe mowing, but maybe not. Because if it hasn't rained in Nottingham while I've been away, then it's all going to be dry. I'll know when I get to work tomorrow, and if it's dry, then I won't be mowing. But I've got loads of planting to do. So, loads of veg to put in, and hopefully the pumpkins are growing and the butternuts growing. It's going to be an exciting year as a gardener. And now I'm getting coffee grounds to stop the bloody slugs. Hopefully it works. Whatever you can to stop slugs and bloody snails. Hate them. Absolutely. But I'd need a warehouse full of coffee grounds to defeat them on my property. So, something. So, been a belting evening again. We'll go for another minute. Yes, mate, they have done, yeah. So, last year, they used pumpkins. I did butternut squash. They used that. They use spinach. They use herbs, lots of different herbs. They've been using leeks. And I've got all these things growing this year. I've got tomatoes growing, peppers growing, chives, parsley, mint, dill, potatoes. So lots of different stuff growing, as well as the flowers as well. So it's great to see, because obviously I've put a lot of effort in, and you'd hope that they would use it. Hope's an aspiration, and then reciprocate and give me some bloody food. But it doesn't always work out that way. Does at one side, doesn't at another. But hopefully that will change. Yeah, and this year I've gone full pelt. This year I've really, because you get a pumpkin or a butternut or a squash, take the seeds out, they're reusable. So they give me the seeds, I chuck them in the ground, bit of water on the top. A few days later, at this time of the year, they're growing. Protect them from the slugs, give them a 2 or 3 weeks protection, they'll start growing. And they're stopping the weeds growing. So then also they start fruiting as well. So it's a win-win situation. But you have to reciprocate. You have to, it's all about helping each other's. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Right, can't wait any longer down here because I'll get a bollocking. And got a bit of a bollocking last night. I drank a pint and a half of Imperial Stouts in like literally 20 minutes. Didn't go down well. Got a bollocking. Yeah, that's as much as I can say on that score. Yeah, because I can't remember the rest because I fell asleep just at the face. Charlie, I can hear him walking up and down the decking. He's on his downward cycle, as it were. Yeah, yeah, pisses and shits wherever he likes. Twice today I've cleaned it up in the house. Good thing we've got wooden flooring, so and not carpet, because that would not be good. Um, but yeah, he's still walking around. He's not wagging his tail like he used to. So with dogs, especially cocker spaniels, they're always so happy wagging their tail. So we know that. Good evening, Ed. And so we know it's coming, and it's coming very soon. So there's a decision we need to make, and there's this balance against quality of life for the dog, but not wanting to go too early. It's a fucking tough decision, really, really tough. Yeah, extremely tough. But I mean, you can imagine, but if you had somebody in your family, they was at death's door, that if you had the ability to, if they said to you, turn it off, turn me off. I don't want to go any further. Dogs can't tell you that. He's been amazing. Yeah. I'll stop crying anymore. But yeah, he's been a good one. Right, I need to stop because one, I'm going to tear up talking about the dog, and thank you all for joining. And we'll see you again in a few days, probably Wednesday or Thursday, because I know nobody else, not many are doing lives. Craig's doing his live. He's proper going on the lives these days, so he's doing his thing for the beer community. And cheers everyone for joining in. Right, got to go and go up the house and we'll see the wife. Try not to fall asleep as you do. Cheers. Thank you for joining. That's how I can take that, obviously.